Imagine you're in a quiet, remote forest. Suddenly, the sky splits open. A fireball, brighter than the sun, screams across the horizon. A wave of heat washes over you, so intense it feels like your skin is on fire. Seconds later, an explosion, a deafening, world-shattering blast, throws you to the ground. This isn't science fiction. This is exactly what happened in Siberia on the morning of June 30th, 1908. An explosion with the power of 1,000 Hiroshima bombs detonated in the sky. It flattened over 80 million trees across 2,000 square kilometers, an area larger than London. People hundreds of miles away were knocked off their feet. Windows shattered. The ground shook so violently it registered on seismographs across Europe. For the local people, it was the end of the world. And then, an eerie silence fell. What could cause such an apocalyptic event? The answer, you'd think, would be simple. A massive asteroid impact. But that's where this story stops making sense. When scientists finally reached the remote site years later, they found something deeply unsettling. The forest was destroyed. Yes, trees were snapped like twigs, all pointing away from a central point. It looked exactly like the aftermath of a nuclear bomb. But there was one huge, impossible problem. There was no crater. Nothing had hit the ground. No fragments of a meteorite. No shattered rock. No physical evidence of any kind was ever found. An explosion powerful enough to level a city had occurred, and the object that caused it simply vanished into thin air. How is that possible? How can something release that much energy and leave absolutely no trace? This is the story of the Tunguska Event, one of the greatest and most terrifying unsolved mysteries of the modern world. For over a century, the world's best minds have tried to solve this puzzle, and every answer they find only leads to more disturbing questions. Let's start with the most accepted theory, an airburst. Scientists believe a large space object, either a stony asteroid or an icy comet, entered the atmosphere at an incredible speed. The immense pressure and heat caused it to catastrophically explode several miles above the ground, before it could ever reach the surface. The evidence is weak, almost non-existent. An icy body would vaporize completely in an airburst, leaving nothing behind. This fits the no evidence part of the puzzle perfectly. This would have caused spectacular noctilucent clouds, bright nights, and other atmospheric phenomena for weeks. The comet theory explains the missing evidence, but it doesn't quite fit all the atmospheric data. It's a mind-bending idea, but there's no evidence of an exit event anywhere on Earth. Another scientific theory, though less popular, involves something from inside the Earth, not outside. Some geophysicists proposed a massive, sudden eruption of natural gas. The idea is that 10 million tons of methane, trapped beneath the Siberian permafrost, explosively burst out and ignited in the atmosphere. This Verneshot could theoretically create a massive fireball and blast wave. But could it really generate the energy equivalent to a multi-megaton nuclear weapon? Most scientists are skeptical. As the years went by, the theories got even stranger. With the dawn of the atomic age, some looked back at Tunguska and saw something chillingly familiar. The flattened forest, the flash of light, the mushroom-shaped cloud described by some, it was all eerily similar to a nuclear explosion. This led to speculation about an alien spacecraft crashing. Perhaps a ship's nuclear reactor went critical and exploded high in the atmosphere. This would explain the power, the lack of an impactor, and the weird eyewitness accounts of a maneuvering object. Of course, just like with all the other theories, there is zero physical evidence to support it. No spaceship debris, no unusual radiation. Some researchers have speculated that Tesla was conducting a secret experiment to transmit wireless energy on a global scale. The theory suggests he used his Wardenclyffe Tower to fire a massive beam of energy toward the Arctic, but he miscalculated, and the beam discharged its power over the empty Siberian wilderness instead. It's a fascinating idea, linking one of history's greatest minds to one of its greatest mysteries. But again, there's no concrete proof that Tesla's technology was capable of such a feat, or that he was even conducting such an experiment at that time. So what are we left with? We are left with a forest of ghosts. It feels like we are staring at a cosmic crime scene where the culprit was so clean, they left no fingerprints, no murder weapon, not a single clue behind. Modern science has brought us powerful tools. We can run supercomputer simulations to model the explosion. These models can recreate the pattern of fallen trees with an airburst of a certain size and altitude, but they can't tell us what the object was. They can't explain the strange eyewitness reports. They can't explain the unusual isotopic anomalies found in the peat bogs of the region, which some scientists claim are evidence of extraterrestrial material, while others dismiss them as contamination. For every piece of data that supports one theory, there's another piece that contradicts it. The Tunguska Event is more than just an old mystery. It's a chilling reminder. A reminder that our planet is flying through a cosmic shooting gallery. Objects capable of leveling cities are out there. And it's also a reminder that there may be forces and phenomena in our universe that we simply do not understand. The explosion happened, the devastation was real, but the cause remains locked in a century of silence. What really happened over Siberia in 1908? Was it a rock from space, a visitor from another world, a failed experiment by a forgotten genius, or something else entirely, something so strange we haven't even thought of it yet? The forest isn't talking, and 100 years later, the sky is still keeping its secret. Thank you so much for watching. If you find mysteries like this as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unknown. What do you think happened at Tunguska? Let me know your best theory in the comments below. See you next time.